No, this is too bad. Well, the geometry is very detailed, but it's not following with the prompt. Okay, it's not that bad. Why? This is really nice. I'm surprised. Hey guys, this is Stefan, and today we compare paid 3D generators to see which one can do the best 3D model. So I compiled a list of most popular, most promoted, the most advanced platforms or AI models that can actually create 3D models from images. So I bought all the subscriptions so you don't have to, and let's see which one will work the best. So as an input, I created a references images, and I will use this images for all the models, so all models are in equal conditions as from now. I choose to take two models, one is a character and a snicker. So how do I create it? It's not a copyright. I show you, it's very easy. I just go to ChatGPT 4.0 and I just ask to create a transparent background image of a character, and then I realized I forgot to mention the style, and just right away from the first try I got what I wanted, and then I kindly asked to do back view and a side view. This is enough. I choose to test the following models. There's a Rodin, there's a Trellis, Tripo, Hunyuan 2.5, Hunyuan 2.0, Common Sense Machines, and Meshi. So some of them, as Meshi and Hunyuan 2.5 were making a lot of noise recently, and I know the models like Trellis is quite famous because it's available within a lot of platforms as well as Hunyuan. So let's take a look, and I will give you a breakdown of the details and so on, and I will give you my comments how good they are, and we will take a look what is the process and why they allow to do such a beautiful models. Let's take a look on a mesh. Particularly, I'm interested in generating 3D models. So there's two options: generate text to 3D and image to 3D. And the premium tool is multi-view, which supposed to give me better result. Let's see. So you attach an image here. You add more images here, you're basically given a name. It's just a name that will be reflected here, nothing else you can do. You select the lattice model, the private if you want to keep it private. Symmetry, you can leave it auto or something like that. So it's two-step process. You basically first you create a mesh, and then you're able to select it, and then you can confirm what quality of mesh you want, and do you want to create a texture or not. If you select not, it will just create a basic mesh with no texture, and you can process it later, or you can create it with. So I did this process 2 times, and let's review the results. So what I can see is that geometry is okay probably, but we can definitely see that there is a 2 tails, which is a problem. But again, I provided it with 3 views, so I think that's quite a bad thing to have, that it doesn't follow the reference. It hallucinates quite a lot. And the texture is really bad. It has a lot of artifacts here. If you just do a little bit closer view, and I was choosing HD texture, so this is HD texture, I guess. So I don't really like the result. Okay, so texture is actually bad. Yeah, I'm trying to see anything good in it, but both the geometry is too messy. There's no prominent details. Ouch. For that much of promotion, I would expect it to work a bit more. I would expect it to work better. The texture is not following my prompt image. Well, there's a lot of hallucinations here and so on. So I don't like the result. I would say this is 3 out of 10. Or maybe 2. Okay, so how much it costs? So for 20 USD per month, you got 1000 credits, and for one textured model, it will cost you. It is almost $1, right? And if you don't like something and you want to redo, sometimes it will cost you. Sometimes they give free retry, but at least it will take you 60 cents. Okay, let's take a look on Common Sense Machines. CSM.ai. What do we have here is what I'm interested in is image to 3D. I already did some runs. We will take a look on the results. There's a single view. You would take one image. There's a multi-view, and there is something that they recently introduced, complex single image. I didn't test it out, but for the day, we just need to create a one model, and I choose the multi-view. So then you select some images. For example, the process looks like that. Let's take a look at the settings here. So I'm only capable of using base. For multi-view geometry, I use PBR as I want to have materials. Number of variations is basically multiplied as the cost. Then one of the interesting parameter is that you can control the poly count, which is sometimes very useful, and basically the size as well. This is less useful, I mean, but maybe for some cases. So this is how it looks like, and then let's review the results. The common sense machine. The guys do quite a good job improving the model, but the results, as for now, is not satisfied. So as we can see, like, it's also hallucinate on the tail, but again, I bought the premium subscription to be able to use multi-view, and still I provided all the views and still give me a second tail, which is not nice. The texture is also quite flat, I would say. You can see some artifacts. I guess that's UV related artifacts. So I would say 5 out of 10. This is awful. I'm sorry, but this is awful. I mean, the fox looked better. Way better. I don't know. Well, the prompt image again, like, looks quite detailed, like, and there's nothing close in it, like only this few lines reminding over the image pigment. It completely missed the texture. I don't know. I don't like the results. Okay, so how much it costs? So you can take a look for free. It's good that you can test a multi-view generation for free. So the maker plan says like 20 bucks. And they give you 100 generation. So from what I saw, one model generation costs you 1 credit. That what they call generation is 1 credit. And to make a texture, it costs you 2 credits. And you spend 3 credits per model, so it's like around 75 cents. It's quite expensive. So for Hunyuan, what you need to do is go to 3dhunyuan.tencent.com. And you have to register. It is possible to register with your email. It's very easy, and then you will have like free tokens. Process here is very easy. Like, you can use one image. I use multiple image again. So far, it's not that difficult to create. You can create it with ChatGPT, and it will definitely improve the results. So here, I will obviously recommend to choose 2.5. There's like huge drastic difference. And if you need a PBR maps or just color map, select this one and just generate. I mean, there is not much of customization here. Again, like, it will just give you the results, you're happy or not. Not much of things you can do. You can preview the model, you can play with the light settings. I don't know why you need, is just what you see here, and you can export in different formats, right? I just added 2.0 here just to see how model improved, and we will actually evaluate only 2.5. So you can see here that, I mean, there is definitely a big difference. I mean, this 2.5 model look more accurate. It doesn't miss details. It's really much better than, so they did an improvement. I would not say like extremely big improvement, but I mean, it's noticeable. So let's review in details what we see here. So first of all, I don't know why. I mean, in Hunion, there is no settings. We will go over that. There is no settings to control like the poly count, etc. But I don't know why it actually created this sort of visual style of low poly with high poly. This is a mystery to me. And the problem is that this model also has problem. It actually do shadow in 3D. Well, there is no shadow. Perhaps there is something, but to be fair, I provided images with transparent background. I mean, there is a small shadow on transparent layer, right? But yeah, I mean, it actually made it in a shape of what? In shape of tail, or I mean, this is weird. Other than that, I would say it is quite good. I mean, this very strange shading. You see, the texture here is nice. I mean, there are some artifacts, but it's like it's not melting with ear texture, for example. This is actually good result. Let it be 8 out of 10 for now. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell the model improved since 2.0. And the result is dramatically different, like within this prompt. So let's review the recent model. So what do we have here is, yeah, I mean, the weird shadow as a mesh here is really, well, this is awful. I mean, this will be, even for a 3D artist, it will be difficult to remove. It actually made some meaningful inside of a sneaker. I mean, this is rare. Well, surprisingly good. Okay, and the details are nice. They look nice, but the problem is it doesn't look like my reference image, right? Well, there's so many things missing, and this prominent orange line. But look at the laces. I mean, they look good. Perhaps I would give, like, for this 8, so 7.5 out of 10. Okay, so Hyper 3D. So let's take a look. First of all, I like the UI. Maybe it's like too futuristic, but basically the whole thing is happening here, right? So when you choose the Rodin here, there's another things there too, quite useful for 3D artists maybe. So we do have basically here, we insert images, boom, and then we press well, they have the use alpha channel. I appreciate the setting. Private, let's do it private, and then you just generate. We are interested in multi-view, and then we press let's go. Alright, so it takes you to this sort of interface. You can see a lot of settings, like advanced settings, like basic settings, but it's actually did a great job so far. Then you need to confirm if you like the mesh, and you have some additional options to control, like how many polygons here is. Again, like this is very useful for professional 3D artists, and I would say like this one is actually one of the fastest. Alright, so yes, the model is updated. Let's confirm, and now it will take us to material creation. I like that this is two-step process, as we are given like a little bit of control. So the material is built from images and from a prompt. So we potentially can adjust it a little bit. So there's some additional settings. I don't know why it always suggests the face restore. I don't think like we need it for character here, so I always choose no, unless you use human-like characters perhaps. And then we're creating a texture, and let's review what expert setting we do have. Like the base model LODs, high poly. This is probably something like for professional 3D artists. I think like base model with the poly count was like this is more than enough. I appreciate the expert settings, like not much, but the most important formats are here. So I will use GLP. I mean STL for those who do 3D printing, like USDC, like if you want like to preview NER, for example, on iPhone, on any supported device. And material you can export. So shaded will export just color map, and PBR will export all the maps. So yeah, I mean, the very nice result. We press confirm, and then we can export it, right? So as easy as that. It only takes 0.5. It only takes half a credit to do that. Let's review the results. One thing I don't like is the color space. It looks like it is like a little bit dull, but other than that, it has one tail. The texture is quite smooth. There is no shadow, but I see some small artifacts here. This is actually very accurate and good, and the material is probably one of the best. And it's not that glossy. I mean, the only problem is like the color space, but I don't know, like maybe there is something with the expert. I was thinking that there's maybe like a linear space of a texture, but no, it's a RGB. But I mean, yeah, this is a little bit weird. Wow. I mean, I see a lot of imperfections, but guys, this is way better than everything we saw today. Take a look, right. Like, I mean, this is standouts. And again, like I did nothing else. I just downloaded the model after generation, right? This is not that bad. I mean, some details are not precisely as in my prompt, like you see the bottom part here, like this part, but all the important details, the big details are there. And I mean, the pattern here, like you can see, like it's almost like one-to-one following the pattern. I mean, the lines are not straight, but again, like this is the closest result so far. And briefly, let's take a look how much it costs. So I bought 35 credits, so it will cost us 75 cents per generation, which is expensive. But compared to others like Meshi, Common Sense Machine, I would say this actually worth it. Yes. Okay, Tripo. So it's very easy to use, probably too easy, but I would say like they do have quite useful settings. So the multi-image is only premium, so I had to buy a subscription, guys. Let's take a look. You basically select images here. Okay, left. Let's do left. Let's do right. Settings. What do settings we have? Okay, I want it private. PBR. Yes, PBR. Face limit. All right. This is also useful sometimes, so you can, I mean, depends on the purpose, you can use it. Okay, we will use 2.5. All right, HD texture. Okay, and then you basically press generate. Again, they also give a free try, but again, this is only for single image generation. I still had to buy a subscription. Well, these guys do a lot of promotion. Yeah, they do have the same problem with the shadow. The colors, I would say, I don't know why only this model give me a gray hat. I guess it's obviously black hat. I don't really like the material. I mean, I would not say like this Hunion is much more different, but it's like really glossy. Maybe this is something with expert. I would say for the character, if the shadow thing, I would say 7 out of 10. This look awful. I don't know what to add. I mean, well, there's few cool things, like it actually fantasizes a lot like about what's inside, like, and added like some sort of like fake label, I don't know, like a fake shoe manufacturer. But I mean, what is this? I mean, the material look awful, and I don't know, it's quite far from what I have in my reference image. Ouch. I mean, the fox was much better in my opinion, but the sneaker is a disaster. Well, 3 out of 10, but we can take a deal like how much it costs. And 35 credits, according to my calculations, it's a little bit more than $1, which is a lot. Okay, so for Trellis, we will go to full.ai and we go to image to 3D, and then we will have all the models API available here, and we will test it here, like full AI Trellis multi. So how it works, you just press it, and then you go see like what options we have. I never do touch these options, like they're quite difficult to understand. Here you can manipulate the quality of a texture. This one default, and basically you just remove all these images and you add like all images, and then you just press run. Okay, and now we have Trellis. It is noticeably darker, right? And there is like sort of light, like a shadow from the light, bake it, etc. I don't really understand why is all this happening. There's also a double tail, but there is no shadow. Also, I mean, other than that, I would say it's not that bad actually for what it costs. I mean, it has potential. I really waiting for some updates, but so far, I mean, this is not really usable. Maybe in some cases, I would give it like 5 out of 10. Okay, let's take a look. Trellis and a sneaker. Well, I mean, it's really dark. I mean, again, like it's making some sort of shadow. What's inside? What is that? Like something scary. I think it's like, in general, it's very blurry, right? It's really blurry in general, and I don't think like it really matches my reference image. I mean, it tries to follow, to be honest, but again, like there's a lot of things missing. You know, I mean, actually we'll give it like 6 out of 10 because it is not that bad for the money it cost. So what is interesting here is that it really probably the cheapest one, but we can try to get a clue, like comparing it to V2, and V2 on full AI is actually not the cheapest one, but also not that expensive as other models. So V2 costs us like 0.16. I believe 2.5 will definitely cost more, but let's say like it will cost like twice more. Maybe like I don't expect it to cost more than $0.5. So guys, we tested a lot in details. I would say so far my number one is definitely Rodin. This is, I mean, not negotiable. I need to admit that Rodin messed up with the colors, but again, in general, this is like something they can fix really fast. Just adjust the hue of a texture and probably will give us a better result. The second one will be Hunyuan 2.5. I mean, it's still missing like accuracy following like the prompts, but I'm impressed with the quality in general. I mean, this is very clean. My number 3 will be Trellis, because for what it costs, it gives quite good result. I mean, look at this, and I mean, look at this. And this actually costs you almost 70 cents, while this costs you 2 cents. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope I saved you a little bit money and time, and you can use these tools for your advantage. Let me know what you think in the comments, and see you in the next videos. Bye.